Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, this is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. What's going on, Sammy? Zach Bruno, aka Zach Brono, in the building. What's up, dude? Chris Lawless, is great to be here. Calvin Williams, my man. Dude, how come you're not just right here? You could be right there. Hope you're doing good, dude. There's a Nashville meetup on Thursday night if you want to come. Joanna says, hello from Idaho. Oh, we got 2 people from Idaho here? All right, there you go. Robert, you get to hang out with Joanna. Keith Giffen, I just spoke to your best friend and neighbor today, your boy Alan. What a cool dude. Great chat that was. He's all fired up, so be prepared. Be prepared for him to have all kinds of ideas coming your way. All right, cool. Let's check it out. Broader markets. Here's the SPY. All right, so SPY, small little bull candle today. Inside candle, I do believe those wicks are accurate. And as I mentioned yesterday, I don't think I was really hiding this at all. I'm quite bearish. I do think this is a wave 3. This will be a wave 4, and we have a wave 5. I think we have a rotation lower. So the higher we go, as we pull into resistance levels, puts I will be buying. Again, I'm not really sure what happens tomorrow with Microsoft gapping down, right? We have 2 bull days now that we're gapping down and kind of trapping some buyers for sure. Here's the hourly chart. I'm just going to turn the extended hours off for a second, just so we can see the buying. And there is going to be some trappage tomorrow. I'll be on the mic and I'll be watching everything just to see what's happening. But I mean, yeah, some bulls are going to be losing a little bit of money. And it's going to be quite intriguing just to see what happens from here. This is a very nice bullish inside day high wave indecision candle. So team, I mean, we can go lower if we take that out. It's going to be a little bit rough. RSI is low, but it can go lower. Again, I don't necessarily anticipate us taking out these lows tomorrow, but man, today by itself wasn't the most bullish day I've ever seen in my life anyway. So I'm going to draw a blue line here at the low of today. And ironically, that also kind of corresponds a little bit with the lows over here in October. So when the markets get fearful, you can absolutely get some selling. You really can. So just letting you guys know. And we'll see what's going on from there. Joe says, did your Tesla trade hit yesterday? Which one? Borowski. Which Tesla trade? The day trade that we took? We won small, very, very small in the day trade. And then we took a bearish trade later in the day. Yeah. And then a bullish trade. Yesterday was amazing. Yesterday was absolutely amazing. And then today was a lot of fun too. All right, so here's the Qs. And the Qs, we are gapping down because of Microsoft. So it's going to be very, very fun to watch that tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is a bear candle gapping down. Bear candle gapping down, so that's a retest gap. And we are still quite on the low side. So we could get a little bit of a retest, but man, depending on how we open tomorrow, it really won't be exceptionally bullish. I mean, we got a long way to go. Long way to go before anything happens. But this gap down, I would just assume that we probably retest before we go lower. And again, overall, I mean, today was not super bullish. The bulls did not have a lot of strength. So all these purple lines, I mean, these are strong levels, right? I would like us to do something. Tomorrow is some Fed discussions, right? So 2 p.m. there'll be some movement out there, bullish, bearish. I'm not really sure. So we'll probably have an inside high wave candle tomorrow also, if I had to guess. If I had to guess, tomorrow up until like 3 o'clock Eastern, we'll get something like that. And then we'll decide. And then we'll probably have a little bit of a late ramp tomorrow afternoon with the FOMC stuff. So if I had to guess, that's most likely what will happen. That's the Qs. Here's the Dow Jones ETF and the Dow Jones. A little bit more of a bullish day than the Qs and the SPY. still retesting, still weak, still below the 200. This is, again, right here. If we just back up 2 days, you'll notice really, really important neckline right here. And we gapped below there and started retesting it from the bottom, right? Retesting that from the bottom. And we had some upper shadows come in. So some people are pressing this thing down. There is some weakness. This is the first bull candle for the Dow Jones closing below the 10 EMA on the weekly chart. So can we go lower? The answer is yes, we can. I don't necessarily know if it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't really care. I have some bearish positions. I'm ready for whatever. I'm super flexible. We go down, I'm shorting. We go up, I'm long. I'm ready to rock. Let's see what we get. Here is the IWM. And the IWM is pretty much a nothing burger candle. Very indecisive. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. A lot of fun though. Again, if you were a day trader, there were some moves out there you could have caught. I was doing some scalps on the Qs after this afternoon and having some fun, just playing these random ranges in here. And I got skipped on the trade of trades. But for learning purposes, let's all learn together, because this stuff, it doesn't matter if you're swing trading, day trading, active trading, whatever you're doing, you can manipulate these patterns to make money. So type a 7 into the chat pane if you see that is indeed a bear candle closing above the 10 EMA. Again, this is the 3-minute chart. So remember, you're all here learning. We're all here during the free week. Let's make some money using these patterns. All right, so your entry would have been there. Stop loss would have been there. That's the trade. So Michael Davidoff, how would that have looked? Wouldn't that have been a beautiful catch? Yes, it would. You would have exited right around here for nice 1.2. Bing, bong, boom. Done and done. I did set that trade up, and I got skipped somehow. Aaron says, let me guess, you waited for a retest. No, man, I set it up. I got skipped over. My order did not get filled. How ridiculous. I know, dude. That's crazy. I mean, I got a partial fill. I had 3,800 shares. I got filled on 200, which is nothing. It was whatever. Brutal. All good. All good. And then we had a nice little sell off later in the afternoon, and that was that. So that was the Qs. I mean, there was a lot of fun day trading today. We did get a chance to trade Apple profitably for a day trade. This was an official trade that I called out in the early morning room. If you want to get a chance to watch this one, let me know. Here's the 3-minute chart. And the 3-minute chart, you guys should be able to see exactly how we played this one. But let's just practice really quick. Are these both bull candles closing below the 10 EMA? Yes or no? And the answer is yeah. All right. So we got some bull candles closing below the 10. I shorted there, stopped there, target there, and that was it. That was the trade. Nothing really to see here. We had a few people play this little bullish pop here for a small gain, because there's your bear candle closing above the 10. So we had a few people get in there, stop there. They sold a little bit right there. And so if you're wondering why someone would enter there, stop there, and target there, the reason they sold a little bit is because of that resistance, right? Sell into resistance. This is a momentum strategy. In, bang, slang it, make some money, cash it out. Don't wait forever. Trail up that moving average. If it reverses, get out. If it works, stay in, exit, peel off positions at resistance, sell at new highs, sell at targets, sell at 1.2 Rs. You're not in this trade forever. But it's ironic how frequently this strategy does not give a false signal. It really doesn't super often. Now, are you going to take trades and is it going to lose money from time to time? Of course. So for example, here's a bull candle closing below the 10 EMA, right? So if you set this trade up, your entry was here, your stop loss was probably there. You almost got stopped out, but following the rules, you would not have. And it eventually peeled over and you could have won small in that trade. It was a great trade. And then of course, later in the afternoon, right around here, you could have caught that for a small gain, probably ended up getting stopped out or trailed out over here for essentially break even or a tiny loss. And if you did that, you probably tried it again over here on this bull candle right there and rode that up for a very, very nice win. But that was a lot of things this afternoon. Just had this gorgeous, gorgeous run up. All right. So anyway, that's Apple. From a swing trade perspective, earnings are right around the corner. Earnings are right around the corner on everything. And that's, that's everything. So we're gapping down into the 100 simple moving average. And the bull candles are right on top of the 100. Again, the Qs are gapping down. How Apple trades on earnings, that's how the market's going to go. I'm assuming if Microsoft gapped down, Apple is going to gap up. I don't think every single company is going to gap down on earnings. That'd be kind of wild. Most likely Apple will gap up into like 164 and fade down. That seems the most reasonable to me. That seems the most reasonable for it to gap up and fade down. That's what I'm expecting. Right, open into 164 and let it rock and roll. So that's Apple. That's my thoughts on it into earnings. And of course, we'll see what it does from here, but that's it. Procter & Gamble. So we set this swing trade up just yesterday. We can cancel this trade because it broke below the stop, number one. Number two, it closed back below the 10 EMA. So no harm, no foul. Didn't get triggered in. Nothing to worry about there. Nothing to stress about there. All is good. And on to the next one. AMAT, ticker symbol AMAT. This was a bull trade that we're looking at yesterday. Again, I don't really want to enter with a with an 11-point stop on AMAT. That just seems really large to me. It's a huge, huge candle. So if we do take out the low of this candle, I'll just short on a retest to give us a little bit of a better risk reward. Obviously, if it breaks this candle down, it's going to be a little bit weak. But yeah, essentially, we'll see. I mean, that's all I got to say about that. Applied Materials, a little on the weaker side. We'll find out what we get and kind of go from there. FM, not FML, just FM. Ticker symbol FM, iShares, Frontier, Select, Emerging Markets, ETF. We're going to come back to this one tomorrow. I really do like these hammers. I like them at this support. It could go bullish or bearish, but the reason I'm keeping an eye on it bearish is because the general market's a little bit weak right now, and this is a immaculate head and shoulders pattern. Bang, bang, bang. Only concern about I have is on average, this does about 83,000 shares a day, which is not very much. That couldn't handle Thomas Wong getting in here. But keep in mind, I'm going to look at it again tomorrow because if we do get a little bit of bullishness tomorrow and this breaks out long, we could trade to the upside up until the 100 simple. I'm okay with that also. So that's FM. We looked at that yesterday. It's on the list today. FTNT. So we're out of this one. We took our profit. Nothing really special here. Again, really, really interesting hammer candle yesterday, inside candle today. And it is sloping a little bit. Again, looks a lot like a head and shoulders pattern. Neckline would be something like this. So we can continue going down. I don't specifically have any fear about that. We could keep going lower. Okay, UNP, Union Pacific. So Union Pacific, that's another bull candle closing below the 10. And is that a tweezer bottom? Wow. Essentially. Okay. This one just had earnings too. That was a beautiful trade. Target's not brilliant. Target would be into these long terms. But yeah, that's two bull candles with equal lows closing below the 10 EMA after earnings. Let's set it up. Let's set it up. Bob says, nice compression. Agreed. Okay, new personal swing trade. All right. Add that to this list. Put that on a little bit later. All right, so that'll be a short trade. And again, I mean, literally and figuratively, it'll be short because we're going to be bearish. It's going to be short because we're going to be in and out of that quickly. I wouldn't expect, and I don't expect to really hang on that one for a long period of time. So 238.90 with a stop loss at 246.48. All right, there we go. Got it. Michael says, isn't that a tweezer bottom, a bullish signal? It is. So imagine, Michael, if all those bulls get trapped, how quickly would it sell off? So again, we're not getting in bearish tomorrow, like at open. We're only getting in if it breaks below the low. Big if. If it runs higher, we might be able to flip our perspective and trade it bullish on a retest, maybe Thursday or something. But if it breaks down, a lot of people are going to be trapped. Woo! Yep. Okay. Beautiful. Next on the list today is net. Net. So net, I would have to assume this is going to look exactly like everything else. Big bull candle, we gap down. If it takes out that support, retest, fails, and cloud flare would go a little bit lower. It is at the 100 SMA on the weekly. So if it's going to bounce, this is where. If you're buying it, this is where. Buy low, sell high. I understand. But that's really all you can do down here on net. That is it. If that 100 gets taken out, I mean, it would be a little bit on the weaker side. Today it was a pretty bearish gap down in the markets. Now, I wasn't trading net today. But we go here to the 3-minute chart. Type in a 7 if you can see a glorious entry. And I do mean glorious too. Whew, look at this. Short right there. Stop right there. Wow. That's nice. Very nice. This is nice. Yep, that's as clean as it gets. It's an easy strategy to follow. Hard to mess this one up. Really hard. All right, next on the list is Ethereum. ETH. So everyone's asking me my thoughts on cryptos. And my thoughts on cryptos are essentially this. We are in a crypto winter. I do expect cryptos to go a little bit lower. I think it's extremely possible that happens. And I still am accumulating Ethereum on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. I think this is an asset, and I'm going to buy it down here on America's birthday, 1776. That's my next spot to buy some Ethereum. I also bought it at the year that we live in, the year of our Lord, 2022. Right? 2022. I have a limit buy there. The low of just yesterday was 2160 on this exchange, so we haven't quite hit that yet. But 2022, that's the year that we're in, so I'll buy there. Now, can this hammer play out bullish for a day or two? Absolutely. All right, so here's the hammer. So if we end with a bear candle like this, and tomorrow we get one of these guys, bloop, right? We trade up into there. That could be a fast little trade if you are a sniper, essentially. And it'd be interesting to see if that occurs. Feel free to watch it if you want. I'm not necessarily going to play that on Ethereum, but I might play that on something else. It does look intriguing. I'm absolutely watching it, and we'll find out what happens. Sean says, could that be the wave 4 before we go lower? Absolutely. That is my take on the Elliott wave count. This is all a nice compression, and this is some type of 3 of 3. We'll come into a 4, and we have one more push lower. And again, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but the 100 simple on the weekly is right around here. I think max pain on Ethereum is essentially the previous highs over here. So in the $1,700 to $1,300 range. Could we come down, trade up, trade down to here. Is that possible? What do you guys think? Of course. And if that happens, that would represent about a 90% sell-off, right? It is very feasible. If that does happen, my plan is to DCA enough in through here where I'm able to actually sell for a profit, lock in a gain on that bigger wave structure, trail my stops, and then recash out if I need to, and start buying back down here if that occurs. It's very possible. We will see, right? I do think this would be worst case scenario, right? We trade sideways and then we go higher for a while, and then it would just absolutely explode. That is certainly a possibility. Otherwise, be relatively patient. This is, again, only January. Only January. A more likely scenario, Edward, is this. It's a little bit of a more likely scenario. Slightly more likely than that is, again, something like that. Really big drop. And then just a slow grind higher. That's more likely. But we do need a little bit more fear to come in. Agreed. We're pretty close, though. All right. Trade desk. TTD. I really walloped this thing at 84.90. So this is my setup on this as a swing trade over here. This is what it looks like. And I'm just going to hide the moving averages for a second. Type in a 6 if this to you looks like a failed bullish gap and go double top. Eventually that's what it looks like, right? Because it did have a very nice gap and go and ran up really, really well. But then you got like lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, big support resistance. I just threw in a limit sell there just in case. And then bink. That was the short. Sell high, buy low, and then whoa, that was the cover. That was a nice 20-point move, though, on the shares. Wasn't bad. So anyway, present day trade desk is getting absolutely squashbuckled. Here's the weekly chart. We're still making higher highs and higher lows, but we have closed below the 100 simple for the first time since COVID. That's going to be a really good level. This will be the 100 SMA on weekly. Let me make the text also purple. I got a thing with matching colors. All right. So that'll help me kind of know where we're at, because again, team, we can easily go lower in the markets. I don't really foresee a reason why we should not or can't. So I'm good to go bull. I'm good to go bear. I'm good for anything. We'll see. Okay. Tesla was looking real strong until it didn't. Tesla has earnings this week. Oh, what's Tesla going to do on earnings? I mean, I think Tesla gaps down and trades higher on earnings. That's what I think. The probably best way to play is to get into an iron condor, sell bear call spreads, sell bull put spreads. That's going to be a decent way to trade. I think if it gaps down, people will find value in the purchasing, similar to yesterday. And if it gaps up, all the people who are still profitable are going to fade it. So I think it's a small gap down and nothing really happens from there. That's my guess. Obviously, coin flip, purely a guess, no clue. But for a day trade tomorrow, it could be a lot of fun. Day trade could be tons of fun if we gap down below the low of today. Stock dog. It was just an example, dude. I was just looking at intraday as an example on your net question. All right, here's Roku, ROKU. Speaking of weakness, Roku. Roku is Japanese for weak hands, apparently. This weekly chart. I mean, Roku? Get out of here. Oh, man. So, yeah, boy, oh boy, this guy is down 70-ish% from the highs. Those highs happened when? Oh, yeah, weeks ago, essentially. Weeks ago. Now, we did have a lot of traders who were buying some shares of Roku, and they just hedged extremely well as it just absolutely tanked. So if you escaped, congratulations. Does Roku continue higher at some point? Yeah, probably. Can it go lower? It can. I don't really know what else to say on Roku. I don't have any position on it right now. I'm waiting for it. I'll day trade the gaps. I'm interested to see what happens. And that's essentially it. Netflix. Oh boy, poor Netflix. What's this purple line again? It must be some type of weekly something or monthly. Oh, it's just a support line. Okay. It's just a support line. This is the weekly 50. So let me make that purple. Okay. So this purple line is the weekly 50. Robert doesn't think that gap is never going to fill. EMA on weekly. Here's the daily chart. And again, here's the daily chart. So that is a very strong gap. Now, just so we're clear, Robert hasn't liked Netflix for a very long time. But that is a very, very, very powerful gap. It is extremely damaging. And I wouldn't specifically be very bullish on it. I would be primarily looking for shorts, either day trades, short swing trades, something slightly bearish overall. That's the 50 EMA on a monthly chart, Brosov. Monthly. Wow. 420, 416, 43. Okay. Maloney says, Robert is my most favorite shorting buddy. I thought I was your favorite shorting buddy. No, I was. No, me. Okay, so that's Netflix. I mean, again, just be more short than long. I don't really see any strength in this at all. Is this a hammer? Absolutely. Can we play it? Yeah, but it has to go above the hammer. And so far it hasn't. That's the problem with that. Target. Now, Target has a long way to go until earnings. Type in a 6 if you can see a very nice 10 EMA short on a swing trade. Keep in mind, you can swing trade on the daily chart, but you can also swing trade on intraday charts as well, like hourly, 2 hour, 3 hour. Didn't get any 6s in the chat pane. So let me help you guys with this one. So if I back up, here's your bull candle right there. That's the setup. 4 days of compression. First bull candle closing below the 10. Entry here, stop up here. Right. Next day, you're filled. And right there, you're probably at 1.2. You could cancel and take your profit there if you want. If you hold, great. Nice upper shadow. Still closes below the 10. Next day, another upper shadow also gives you a chance to lower your stop loss and probably even add to the trade if it breaks below here. I would have added on a retest of this ginormous, humongous bullish candle, the low of that candle. That's where I'd be adding a short trade as well, probably the next day. So day 3, really good gap down, brilliant short. And then obviously that's yesterday and this is today. So the bears are in control of Target. Let's go look at the weekly chart. Ooh. Ooh. Man, that looks like a legit double top. That's legitness. Now, here's what's interesting. Would I be surprised at all if the market just traps everyone bearish in like 2-3 days? Everyone gets embarrassed and we just rally and stop everyone out and then roll over 2 months from now? No. Not really. Hi, Tish says, can you check Walmart? It's not on my list for today, but I can add it to tomorrow. So we got the 50 on the weekly. Long terms are forever away. Yeah, trend looks a little bit bearish right now on target. So short the pullback. I don't have an awesome trade on it right now. But if we, I mean, it looks like everything else. It's kind of identical to all the other trades out there. So you'd want to short target closer to 225 than where it is now, unless you just do a quick trade, like a 78-minute chart or something. 78-minute or an hourly. All right, find some nice bull candles closing below some 10s and short below there, possibly. Those strategies exist. Okay, target, no trade setup for me. Neo just absolutely called this one and did nothing with it. You ever done that before? Oh, man. So right here on this day, literally this day, I was like, all right, here's how I'm going to play Roku. I'm going to short the bricks off of it at 30.36. 30.36, I'm all in on puts. That was my plan. It just looked so weak. All this volume was getting trapped. It was below the 100 on the weekly. So here's the 100 on the weekly. Right, there's the 100 on the weekly. Super choppy, right? Trade stops for essentially 4 or 5 weeks, but you can see the compression. Moving averages are all bearish. Monthly chart, all bearish, all below the moving averages. Back to the daily time frame. It's like, okay, we'll short the pullback. That was my analysis on Neo. Get in. Next day, we retested. Did I set the trade up overnight? No. Nope, I'm a moron. Apparently, I hate money. Didn't set the trade up. Katiana says, raise your hand if you never made money on Neo. Here's my hand up. Here it is. Kat, why didn't I set that trade up? It's just such a nice trade. Entry there, stop there, all the puts. Anyway, there's the next 3 or 4 days. That would have made me plane ticket to a nice blue island somewhere. But I didn't take that trade. Jordan says vacation money. That's it. What's up, bro? By the way, Jordan, are you coming to the Nashville meetup Thursday? I think Jonathan Wage has that link. If you guys want to post that link, if anyone's watching this on YouTube, Nashville RLT meetup Thursday, 48 hours from now, let's go. You get to meet Calvin Williams. That's reason enough. And thank you, Jonathan Wage, for posting that link. I'll make sure it's in the description box as well. Falco, can you make a note of that to put that in the description box of the video, please? Anyway. All right. That's Neo. There's no trade on it right now. I've missed it. Short the pullback. Neo's going to 0. Maybe not 0. It's going lower. I got to make some money on Neo. Dang it. I'm just going to get FOMO. I know I'm going to get FOMO on this thing. I've got to make money on Neo. Even if it's $9. Someone help me make money. Look at this gap on a weekly chart. Oh my gosh. This thing is going to get train housed. Oh boy. This gap on a weekly is deathly. Because if you think about all the Chinese stocks that have crumbled, I mean, look at BABA. Look at BABA. Look how much BABA has gone down, and they make billions. Neo makes no money, essentially. Their cars look like trash cans. And there's nothing stopping this thing at all, anywhere, on any time frame. Okay. Speaking of not making money, I did make profitable trade on RIVN, but if I can share with you guys just an absolute bonehead move of following my plan, this was one of those times. So I bought some puts in here on a retest of this retest gap. And I sold those puts right there. Made 2 R's, followed my plan. It was like, I think it was like 2.4. Right? Nice trend, brand new company. RIVN, valued at 80 something billion, makes $0 in revenue. How did I not hold those puts? They were February expiration. They'd be up 7 R's right now. I left 5 R's. Oh my gosh. And you guys know I've never liked RIVN. You all know that. I think anyone here who's ever tuned in to any video or webinar or instruction that I've ever done at any point in time knew I didn't like RIVN. Why? That's a good question. That's a good question. Who can tell me why I was never a big fan of RIVN? Because I make more money than they do. That's essentially why. And I do make good money, but let's be honest. There's a discrepancy. There's a little bit of discrepancy on this one. Okay. Don says everyone here makes more than they do. Exactly. So I need to get into some more puts on this thing when it retests, guys. We should all do that together, right? Because you know this is going to go lower. All right, that's RIVN. NVIDIA is hanging out. Ooh, that's a pretty damaging gap down tomorrow. Man, is the market really not even going to try? How much longer? How much more tickers do I have? I got a lot. Okay, let me not tangent here. I'm gonna watch this one tomorrow. We're gonna see how it gaps. I mean, that's a pretty interesting gap. Trapped bulls for sure. It's an inside bear Harami candle. If it retests the 200 tomorrow, short the bricks off of it. It just depends on how it opens. There's tons of time between now and tomorrow open, but NVIDIA does look a little bit on the weaker side. Why is Microsoft not on this list? You guys didn't want to look at Microsoft yesterday? Scoot that up. So NVIDIA, I'll look at it tomorrow morning. Type of 7, if you're going to be there in the day trading room with me tomorrow morning, it's going to be valuable. You probably want to be there. If there was a day that you probably want to be there, it's going to be tomorrow. Wednesdays are one of my most profitable days. But you guys all know that. Kohl's getting bought out. Kohl's with the buyout. Ernest wants me to look at RTX. I can put on the list for tomorrow, Ernest. So Kohl's, they got bought out by a private equity company. There's nothing really to look at on Kohl's. They're probably inking that deal. And congratulations for anyone who owns shares of Kohl's. If you bought them lower than 62. I mean, literally, phenomenal job if you bought Kohl's anywhere around 20. That's a good commercial. Welcome to Kohl's, aka where everyone returns their Amazon stuff. Yeah, that's Kohl's. Welcome to Kohl's, the return center for Amazon. So we'll see if it does anything else interesting from here. Nothing especially special. It's a buyout. All right, Best Buy. Very, very damaging gap on November. Oh my goodness. What was I doing in November? I know what I was doing in November, but if you want to back trade a setup of setups. So obviously this is a damaging gap. Everyone tried to buy this thing right off the long terms. The trend was still bullish, but it just trapped a little too many people. Next day, all the bulls that bought off the moving averages got shattered. And then the very next day, look at this candle. All right, how many people are here? Oh, wow, we got hundreds of people here. Okay. Type of 17 to the chat pane if you can see it. If you know exactly how to trade this one. Remember, I know this is in hindsight. It has nothing to do with that. This is all about patterns. If we can see the patterns, we can use them to make gains. Type in 18 if you have no clue how to trade this thing. All right, we got some 18s. We got some 17s, mostly 17s though. Here's how you play this. Entry here, stop there. Easy. You're getting in short below this candle. Your stop is above that candle. lay up. Right? Bull candle, closing below both moving averages, taking out all that support. Look at all this volume that's trapped. Easiest setup in the world. Bang. Hello. Hello, Best Buy, my old friend. Just, oh my, wow. What was I doing on that day? Man. Beautiful. Oh, well. Changing diapers, probably. Probably. So present day, Best Buy has had a very good support. This is an old support, new resistance. Earnings are a few weeks away. I don't really see anything special right now on Best Buy. So if I were playing this one, I'd probably do an iron condor, bear call spread, bull put spread, get paid for to trade sideways until earnings. And that's essentially how I'd play Best Buy. Otherwise, I'll just leave it alone. Unless you really, really love Best Buy, in which case you could buy some. But I wouldn't buy tons. With a gap like this, wow, that's kind of rough. Bed Bath & Beyond, the place that sells no baths and very little beyonds. This is a stock I've been calling to hit zero for years now, and I've been wrong because it hasn't hit zero yet. Why has it not hit zero? I mean, the only thing worse than Kohl's is Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm just looking. I'm looking. It's up 7% today. So that's cool. Oh, boy. Nope. No idea how to play this one. If you guys gave me a free membership to Bed Bath & Beyond, I would immediately sell it for money. But if you gave me one, I would to take a trade on it. I'd probably buy the dip, the stop load, the low today, and hope it went into the 100. That's probably all I would do. Otherwise, I'd probably leave this one alone. Wix. Juan wants to look at PayPal and iRobot. All right. I'll add them to the list for tomorrow. All right. So next on the list for today is Wix, ticker symbol WIX. And this is what Wix looks like. I like Wix. I made some very fun money on Wix during this little pop right here. Presently though, I don't see much other than a really decent downtrend. Yeah. Nothing special on Wix. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Next is Microsoft. MSFT. And Microsoft got reamed. SB says, I bought 300 shares at 303. Sorry, dude. We were talking about that this morning. I told you to get out of them. But you know what? What do I know? Justin says, thank goodness for puts. Yeah, she's down pretty nicely pre-market. Here's the hourly chart. Extended hours, we're down right now. I set up some orders to short sell Microsoft a little bit. See this blue line? Let me actually take this blue line off. This is where it is pre-market. I will give you the exact prices. I have orders to short Microsoft pre-market. The low of this bull candle, obviously, the low of this candle right here, which is 281.88. And I think the 50 EMA as well. So I have a little bit of short exposure on Microsoft if it retests tomorrow. I expect it to retest, but it's pretty damaging. That's going to be opening below here. So it could gap up, rally into here, and then it's just going to slowly roll over again. And the results were awesome. So as Robert says, results were great. It's going to be a tough earnings season. So if you're looking at playing most things over earnings, either buy puts or have a little bit of negative delta or some short exposure. because even great earnings is probably going to get beat up a bit. Yeah, so this one, I mean, this is a pretty damaging gap, team. Opening below this candle is not great. It's Microsoft, so people are going to be buying the dip. It's the lowest that it's been in months. So people will buy that dip, but it'll be I think a shorter term dip buy. And I do have short exposure. I do have limit sales of open in pre-market. Essentially expecting this to happen. That's kind of what I'm expecting. So Robert says the problem is even if the businesses are sound, these are the targets for people to raise cash if they are scared. All right, next on the list is EverQuote, and this thing just has been hanging out for a long time. Had a few people ask me, when's it going to break? I don't know. You're probably doing covered calls. Maybe you're doing callers. I'm really not sure. Nothing overly special on EverQuote. It needs to take out and get above the 100 to do anything intriguing. Earnings is around the corner, which is nice, but the longer that 100 presses it from the bottom, the worse it is. Still an intriguing company, but yeah, this is the weekly chart. I mean, I would not imagine this is a bullish signal if we take out the low of this candle. On a weekly chart, this is actually a 10 EMA strategy anyway. But we could put this here and put that on the list for maybe Thursday and just see if it's looking a little bit better to maybe short. I don't know. Ernest wants to look at Peloton tomorrow. Okay. VP says, Jeremy, I still have someone who wants to join the free week. Is that still possible? Only if they have a pulse. I don't want any dead people, VP. Yeah, man, it's Tuesday, free week, all week long, bro. All week long. Okay. So that was EverQuote. Nothing special in that at all. Next on the list is Palantir. And I did bail on my position on Palantir. I bought shares on this day at the support line, and I sold them on that day at the retest for break even. And then Palantir continued to get absolutely Palantired. This thing, this stock's gonna become a verb for absolute garbage. Jonathan says, if we join after the free week, this is the norm, correct? Yep. Indeed, indeed. You'll get access to Slack. I'm here 95% of the time. Obviously have vacation days and travel days and stuff like that, but yeah, man, this is it. My ginormous head on your computer screen. Don't buy Palantir. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Sky. Is this Skynet? No, Skyline Champion Corporation? What is this? A home building company. Wow, look at that double top. Whoa. Yeesh. That was a good limit buy, 17. No clue on this one, other than if it takes out this low, it's gonna be bearish, but that's everything. Yeah, keep giving this a little bit of time. If I was gonna play Skyline Champion Corporation, I would short it up here. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang. Short around 68.50. Next on the list, Genpact Limited. Hi, I'm Greg with Genpact Limited. This thing got COVIDed, just smoked, and then has all recovered nicely. Asif Patel says, do you also play swing trades during this time? Yeah. Yep. We've already set up one on UMP. Carol says, can we do some stocks actually on an uptrend? Hey, I just am reviewing stocks that you guys requested yesterday, Carol. So if you want to look at Marathon Oil, I'll put it on the list for tomorrow. There you go. Bang. And secondly, I would say I'd probably have to argue that this is pretty uptrending right now. On a big picture, this is the weekly chart. Olivia, yep, I got Etsy and Ulta. You asked for it a few minutes ago. Already got it added. Already on the list, girl. Got you. So yeah, I mean, this is a pretty strong uptrend, big picture, I think. So in general, I'd be a buy the dip opportunity, but there's going to be just some slight weakness right now. Earnings is not too far away. We are at a little bit of a support. We did close with a 200. I think that's really intriguing. Let's come back to this one because it's kind of brand new to the breakdown. If it starts getting a little bit more weakness, let's see if we can short it. All right. Next is General Mills, another uptrending company. Now, General Mills is that delicious cereal that everyone eats on a daily basis. It's good for your heart, I promise. It says so on the box. Just read the box. Don't look at the ingredients or the sugar contents. The box says it's good, healthy for your heart. I'm General Mills. Interesting bounce off of the 100 on the weekly. You can kind of see right here. Monthly chart, good bounce off the 100 on a monthly. It's General Mills. This is the most boring blue chip stock of all time. However, we got a bull candle closing below the 10 EMA. Now, the small challenges, I do have one random rule in my swing trading account and my trading account is I don't short food. And here's why. It never works. That's the only reason. I've made, out of these 36 times I've tried to short a food company, I think I've made money on it approximately 0. My 12 years, if I've shorted something, except for Beyond Meat, because Beyond Meat's not actual real food, nor really is General Mills. But anyway, that's beside the point. It's kind of like a random thing. This trade actually probably will work. It looks really, I like it a lot. If that looks as good as it does today, tomorrow, I can set that up officially. And let's see if I can get out of 36. The 37th trade has to be a winner, right? It has to be. Goldman Sachs, one of the, and I'm not exaggerating, the weakest stocks I've seen in a long time. This gap down is so damaging. Wow. Wow. I mean, just amazingly weak on a weekly chart. So I'm waiting for it to do something like this. And I don't know exactly how long we have to wait, but I got alerts set. I got everything I need to be in on some Goldman Sachs on a rollover. Earnings is over, so we got plenty of time. Be bear call spreads, could be puts, just kind of depends. We'll find out, but it looks good. Fuel cell apparently is going to go to 0 or have a reverse split. I don't know. I mean, granted, it's still higher than it was pre-COVID. Sorry, not really. Pre-Biden, the Biden bounce. And then it's just never recovered. No, I should say never recovered. There's been 2 times where you could have easily gotten in some and protect yourself, AKA right here. That was a really nice run up. It doesn't look like a lot, but I traded that very successfully. And that was 56% return. And my robot has been short on fuel cell the entire time. Like 97% of the time throughout here, it's been short. So I'm assuming they're going to have a reverse split before too long in hopes that it can recover. Obviously, it looks like this was a bubble, and that's fuel cell. The story on fuel cell has and always will be, but they're in the vehicles that Amazon warehouses use. Fuel cell. That's pretty much been their story. So I think that story's played out. All right. AMD. I did not day trade AMD today. We had a few traders who did. Could I have? Let me just pull this up. I know I could have done it later in the afternoon. Yeah, could have shorted over here. Shorted over there and maybe made a little bit. Definitely could have played a nice long here. I mean, this long in the afternoon and this long in the afternoon are almost identical. Like putting those charts back to back. Let's do that really quick. I got 5 minutes left. Plenty of time. Look at this bounce from today and this bounce from yesterday. That's why I love trading. If you caught it yesterday, you caught it today. Actually, the exact same chart. All right, there it is. Look at this. Look at that. I mean, it's really the same chart. Compression, compression, TNMA, bear candle, TNMA, bear candle, or TNMA, bear candle, either one. Entry, 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 however you want to play it. And then both ran up nicely. It's the same thing. A lot of weakness in the morning, a lot of chop in the morning. I mean, almost to the exact same hour, right? Right around 12 o'clock Central, 1 Eastern. Nice little rampage. Beautiful. That's right about the time people get back from lunch or wake up from their naps or whatever they're doing with their lives. Yeah. It's gonna be really fun to be in the morning room tomorrow. AMD is gapping down below the open. It's gonna gap down right around these long-term averages. So it's gonna be super fun to see what happens on AMD. Earnings is around the corner. And that's really all I have to say about that. Next on the list, Proficient. Proficient? No idea. Proficient. I think it's Proficient. Looks weak, team. Bear trend right now. I mean, this thing's going to come down to 89. Coming down to 89. Let's see if we can try to catch a trade on it up into the 200. I'll put that on the list for Thursday. Because right now it's a little extended. It looks like all the other markets, which again, essentially need to pull back anyway. So we'll give that one a little bit more time. DDOG. DDOG. Yates says hard to be proficient when saying proficient. I agree. Now, DDOG from a growth stock is holding up pretty well. It's only down 36%. That's nothing. Yes, Peloton and Zoom. So this gap right here is getting filled. And weekly chart on DDOG is the 100s. If I was buying DDOG, I'd probably buy it around 103. It has held up pretty well. There is definitely some strength here. Any stock that's been holding up this well is going to do okay, I think, in the long term. Otherwise, if it gets back up to the 200, probably short it. Stop up there. We have a ways until earnings. So look at something like that. Something like that on DDOG. Lucid Motors. Inside candle. If it takes out these hammers, I'm going to buy all the puts on Lucid. You guys might not have any buy. If it takes out this low, I will have all of them. That's all I have to say about that. I'll look at it tomorrow and Thursday because that looks like it's going to just absolutely crumble if it takes out those lows. Keyword if. All right. SOFI Technology, ticker symbol SOFI. This was a bullish swing trade that I played based on this gap right here. Good volume, good gap, good candles, just a bad market to get into anything long because that did not work. So I got stopped out for an R loss on that one. However, the fact that we took out that gap so quickly is a whole heap ton of weakness, in my opinion. So I'm going to look to short the boots off this thing. We might give it 1 or 2 more days of sideways action. See if I can short off this lower shadow over here. TNMA, yeah, it is. I mean, so this is technically, theoretically, a bull candle. We can short below that or kind of short the retest of it, but yeah, SOFI. Let's keep a very close eye on this one and potentially look to short. That might be the weekly options newsletter trade. So we will see. Robert says, you aren't a fan of collateralized student loan debt? Oh, it's my favorite. SRRA, Sierra Oncology, had a big gap up today. Huge volume. It is up 44%. It did retest into the 100 simple moving average. Here's the 5-minute chart. So you had 2 or 3 moves that you could have maybe caught something on. But that's really going to be it. So Oncology Group, nothing special on that one. I don't see anything that I'm going to take yet. But I could put this on the list for next Monday. And if things still hold out okay and look relatively intriguing, I could consider easily taking a swing trade on that if things look nice. All right, just 4 left that were added pretty late in the day. Owens Corning, very sideways. Gross, super sideways, very blue chip. Nothing really exciting on this one at all. Earnings are right around the corner. If you want to do something on this one, get into an iron condor or buy it low at 85 and sell it at 96. OC is sideways. Huntsman Corporation, ticker symbol HUN. We do have 2 bull candles closing below the 10. That's nice. We also just made, is that a new all-time high? It is. Ooh, piece of candy. That's cool. 2 bull candles closing below the 10. All right. I don't think that triggers tomorrow, but let's give that one more day. And if it still looks as good tomorrow as it does today, we'll set that up officially as well. Okay. And 2 more. Alcoa, strong. Some strength on Alcoa. I don't have any position on this one, but I'm assuming if anyone did, all you're doing is buying off of the retest right there. Old resistance. It broke up, it pulled back into that, and it's bouncing. So if you bought there, congrats. I don't have any position in Alcoa. Here's your weekly long-term averages. We're well above those. Monthly, we're well above those. And we are at resistance right now. So if you're in a position on this one, you definitely, in my opinion, want to get into a collar or some type of protection. And that's probably it. Get into a collar, get into some type of protection. Don't be in that trade too long. And let's see what we get from there. Last but not least is MATX, Matson Incorporated. Matson, 3 bull candles in a row. Hammer candle, very nice hammer. Retested this gap, very pretty. Upper shadow. Possible double bottom right here. Boop, boop, boop. So if you're in this one and you want to be in or you don't want to be in, I would say you could buy a retest at 90 with a stop loss at 86 and hold on for dear life and hope it goes higher, I guess. Overall trend looks pretty good, man. This is another uptrending stock that's been around forever and had really good growth during COVID. So looks pretty okay. All right, tomorrow we already have a pretty decent list you guys have been all adding here in the trading room. I got room for 5 or 6 more if you want to throw some at me. Already got UPST on the list. Gold I can do. Coin, Zim, got Southwest already. Big. Atom. Okay. PXD, NVIDIA again. All right. Cool. All right, Squadron. I appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. And until next time, live life, and trade it. You guys rock. I'll see you later. Bye.